Jake here for American Muscle, and today I'm taking a look at the C&L Muffler Delete Axleback with polished tips, fitting 2011 to 2014 Mustang V6s. If your Mustang just simply isn't loud enough, then C&L has got the answer for you right here. This 3-inch Muffler Delete Axleback is perfect for the Mustang owner who wants an easy, inexpensive upgrade to their exhaust. It's going to bring some serious noise to the table. In fact, we're going to give this one a 4 out of 5 on our loudness meter, so you can be sure that you're going to notice a difference, and people around you will too. But if you're looking for more noise without being too unhinged, this setup is going to be right up your alley, and it's not going to cost you too dearly either. Unlike some other Axlebacks that have a muffler or resonator built in, as the name would imply, these are just straight through. They are simply a muffler delete. So these are going to eliminate the factory suitcase mufflers and tips, replacing them with these pipes and these tips that we've got here. So you're going to unlock a lot more sound. You even get some pops and crackles and burbles on the overrun. Now, not everybody likes those, but I know I sure do, and hopefully you do as well. I also appreciate a louder exhaust too, and these do a lot to make the 3.7 sound really good. You get a much more aggressive exhaust note, and it gets really rowdy when you get on it. It gives that V6 a raspy race car-like exhaust too, gets a little grumbly further up in the rev range, and really, I think it just sounds great. Now, you're probably gonna find yourself driving differently than you're used to just because you're gonna wanna hear that noise, especially those of you who might have a convertible. Plan on having to turn up your radio as well because you are naturally going to get more noise in the cabin too. Now, it's not going to be quite as obtrusive as some of the full catback setups on the market. This isn't quite as loud as those are, and most of the difference is going to be towards the back of the car, but it is going to be a noticeable increase in volume. Still acceptable for a daily driver though, especially for a performance car like the Mustang. You also get a pair of these 4-inch tips to finish them off. Now, these are really nice. They are slash cut dual wall tips, and they've got a polished finish to them. So they're not over the top aesthetically, but still something just a little bit different from your stock ones. Not maybe the first thing you notice, but they're a nice little detail for those who are in the know. Now, these are a clamp-on style tip, which I like because it gives you the ability to adjust them. So if you want them to sit nice and flush with the valance in the rear, you can do that. Or if you want them to poke out a little bit, give it a little bit more of that aggressive type of look, you can do that as well. You have a little bit of flexibility in how you get these mounted and set up. While sound and performance are vital to an exhaust, construction is also important, and that's another big reason to consider this setup. C&L uses 3-inch diameter T409 stainless steel. Now, no weird bends or crinkles in the pipe. 409 means that they're going to provide you with a good amount of resistance to corrosion and rust as well. And if you take a look at these, you'll probably be impressed by the welds. These are really nice looking welds on both sides on all these hangers. And everything just looks pretty good coming out of the box. Those tips that we were talking about are made from T304 stainless, so they're going to stay looking nice and shiny for a while as well. Going to provide you with a lot of protection against corrosion and rust. And really, I just can't say enough about how nice these are, especially for the price. Now, as far as pricing goes, this setup is going to come in around $250. That makes it the most affordable option for a V6 Mustang of this generation. So if you want the noise without having to pay the big ticket price or the price of a full catback, this is going to be a great option for you, and you're really not going to be losing out on quality or the looks either, because everything just looks and feels so nice in your hand. And really, the long and short of it is, this is a great value for money. So if you want that noise, you don't want to pay the big ticket item price, this is going to be a great option for you, and I think you'll be pretty happy with it in the long run too. When it comes to installation, these are going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty scale. You should budget about 2 hours to get everything buttoned up. Now, this, unlike a lot of other Axlebacks for other cars, this is a totally bolt-on system. It's going to use obviously all of your existing exhaust hangers, so you don't need to modify anything on the car at all. And you've got all your band clamps that you need, 2 for the tips, 2 for the pipes themselves, to get everything nice and snug on the car. Now, if you've done an exhaust in your driveway before, especially on a car that's kind of low, like a Mustang, you know it can be a bit fiddly just because of a lack of space. However, this is not a difficult job. It's definitely something a DIYer or a novice mechanic can do at home, especially since you're only removing the mufflers and not the whole exhaust system. But with that, why don't we hand it over to one of our AM customers who's going to walk you through the entire process.
Right here we have a simple ratchet, a ratchet extension, 13mm socket, 15mm socket, and then this is just to make the sockets fit on my impact driver because it's not an impact wrench. But you can use an impact wrench if you have one. But let's get straight into it. Hey guys, today we're going to be installing the C&O muffler delete system. But before we do that, we got to take off the stock mufflers. Here are the tools you're going to need to take off your stock mufflers. First, we're going to start off with the 13mm socket. That goes on here. And we're going to take both of these because sometimes you can't fit this into places. It's a lot of just small places that are hard to reach. So that's when this little small one comes into play. It's a little bit harder to do by hand, but I mean, if you have something that can reach in there, use it, but I don't. So we're gonna get down here. So I like to start at the back here. This is your muffler clamp right here. What this does is hold it to your mid-pipe exhaust manifold. Not 100% what that's called, but it just pretty much connects it to the rest of the exhaust system. So what we gotta do is we gotta take that clamp off to free it. So just figure out an angle that works for you. For me, there's not many angles, but just gotta try to make it. And there's that. And what I like to do is bend this muffler clamp, and then should be able to just slip her right off. Sometimes it's not a slip off. There we go. And then this little clip on the back here, this will be pried down. So either you'll have to use a flathead or something to pry this up, because this will be clamping the clamp down onto this even tighter. So just keep that in mind. Once you get the original muffler clamp off, you're also gonna have this little clamp right here to get off. So once we've done that, we're going to just go ahead and give her a shimmy shake and get this connected. Then what I like to do is come down here to this little hanger right here, and then I like to just disconnect it from this hanger. So to do this, the best method I found is to pull this against you while you push against this little pin right here. This little metal pin on this side. If you push against this while pulling, it should just pop right off. So just go ahead and push, pull. Oh, and there we go. Now your muffler is going to be almost completely free hanging. All you have connecting it is one hanger back here, and I'll show you how to take that off. So what we're going to do is actually, you might not even need to take your hanger off, but for the video process, I'll just show how to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our socket, our 13mm. We're gonna take our 13mm and this bolt right up here, we're gonna come look at it. If you can see it, it is right here. I don't know if you can see it. It is right here above, right in direct center of the hanger. I'm gonna go for these two screws on the side here first. So if we look down on this side, I was thinking about the other side. On this side, we have 2 screws all the way up here. We have one right here that connects this to the rest of the car. And then we have one down over here, which we will get to in a second. If you can see, it's right under this hanger here. Let me get a flashlight real quick. Alright, so you can better see. Right here, if you can see that, right there, we have a bolt we have to get off. So those two, after those two, it'll be pretty free hanging. So you're probably going to want to keep a grip on your muffler just so that way it doesn't fall. But we're going to go ahead with the 13mm socket, and we're going to just take those 2 off. Almost like your finger on a certain point. Alright. Still unscrewing the same screw here on the back. This one does not want to come out. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to use my impact driver to get this off because I think it's a little bit stripped in there. So if I can fit it, which I don't know if I can. If I can rearrange things here, I'd be able to fit in there. Right now I'm just trying to free up some room. There we go. Alright, so that should give me the room I need to probably get. Let me see if I can grab this one real quick. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is go for this one here in the middle. Perfect. So we got this middle one off right there. So I'm gonna push this back into the hanger so that way I can access these other screws up here, or bolts. So going at this back screw here, or bolt. This is one of 2 that are up here. So So if you come back here and look, we have just this screw or this bolt, and then another bolt down a little bit further here. What's going on with this bolt is I believe this bolt is stripped, so it doesn't want to come out completely. So it's just gonna keep spinning, but it's like threaded in there. So what I'm trying to do is give it a little support so that way I can maybe wiggle it out. I think it's got a lot of tension on it. So I just went and grabbed my extension here to throw on to see if I can reach it with my impact driver. Perfect. Cool. So either I just was impatient or no, the screw is definitely a little stripped. As you can see there, this tip part, I'm gonna have to order a new bolt, but that is definitely stripped right there. A little unfortunate, but oh well. Now with that off, we are going to proceed with the very last one, which I'm going to use this socket for because I can't fit anything up into this little hole back here. So I'm going to get this real quick just to show what I'm talking about. Right up here, let me show you this light here. This little hanger's blocking it, but you can see it right there. This one right here, that's what we're going for next. We just got done getting that one off right there. You see that little hole right there? That one is right next to the exhaust. And then, yep. So this is the last one on this side. It's the exact same steps for the other side, except you don't have the extra one up here. You have just this one down here, which I think is personally a million times better. I don't know what the difference really is, why this side has more bolts, something, but anyway, enough talking. Let's get this puppy off. So this one's a very tight space. So what I'm gonna do for this one to get more room, I'm gonna just push it back. And that'll give me the room I need. Put this in here. Shouldn't have enough room. Just pop it off. So what I'm gonna do is we gave ourselves enough leeway to just pop this off instead of taking all of that off. Now that I got all that, I'm gonna come back over to the side. So what I did there is I pushed this little hanger off here because this hanger doesn't have a little tapered, I guess, end to keep it in there, so this one slips out a lot easier. So now that gave me a lot more room to get what I need done back here. Like I said, remember, once you take this one off, your muffler will come completely off, along with this hanger at the top. Almost there. Like I say, keep a little support on there. Right there. Alright, so this is the passenger side, pretty much the exact same thing. We're just gonna do this one pretty quick. You wanna just take this clamp off. Start there. That off. Throw it down. Bend the clamp. Pull it off. There's that. Cool. Then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna do the same thing on this one. We're gonna do the little push and pull technique. Pretty easy, straightforward. Shouldn't be too difficult. Perfect. Now that we got that, remember what I did last time? We're going to come to the side that doesn't have the little tapered end, and we're gonna try to push it out. So, disconnect the exhaust from your muffler. There we go. Push, push. Give it a few pushes. Oh, and there we go. This side's a little bit easier. She pops right off. You don't really have to take the hanger off. And there we go. Alright, as you can see, there she is in all her glory. Go ahead and pop this off because you're going to need to reuse this for your C&L mufflers. Alright guys, we just got the stock mufflers off. Now here are your brand new C&L muffler deletes. Right here we have one fully assembled with the polish tip. Right here we have one completely disassembled with the polish tip off. So the polish tips come with it, obviously. You just got to connect them to it with a little V-band, V-clamp, whatever these are called. It's pretty straightforward, it's nothing hard. So let's get under there and let's just go ahead and get this straight on and show you how to do it. So we're gonna start with this side because we gotta completely put the hanger back on this side. So that's what you're gonna do. Grab your hanger, grab all your bolts, and then we're gonna get under there and we're gonna get her on. You also are gonna need this. This is the muffler clamp. You will know this because we just took it off of the stock ones. These are pretty straightforward to use, nothing too crazy. So these are what comes with it. The little V clamp, and then your muffler clamp, and then this. this will go on this way, and then yeah. So let's just show you that under there. It's a lot easier. So first we're gonna want to get our hanger back on. So let's take this and let's get back under there. All right. We got all that we need right there. So we're gonna take our hanger. We're gonna do pretty much exactly what we did last time to put it back on. So for this, you should be able to use this for most of them, other than like the really hard to reach ones. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna line it up with the holes. There's gonna be a bunch of little holes. It's not too hard to find the right one because it won't line up properly if it's not in the right one. So mine is gonna be right here. Perfect. And then we're just gonna take our little bolt while we're holding this up. Throw it. Ooh. Butterfingers today. We're gonna take it, we're just gonna screw that right in there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nothing too crazy. And then after we've done that, we're gonna not unscrew it, we're gonna screw it. But that's alright. We're gonna take the next one. I like to go right here to this one by the back of the muffler next. And then after that, we're gonna go to the last one here, which I'm going to have to use a socket for, ratchet. Strip, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that. Probably shouldn't have screwed it in that hard, but oh well. I'm going to grab my ratchet now, and then we're gonna put the 13 millimeter. Just a reminder, the whole time we've been using a 13 millimeter. The 15 millimeter is going to be for the tips, tightening the V-clamps on the polished tips. So we're gonna take this, throw it up in there. We're gonna just hand tighten it a little bit first, just to get it in there, get it started. Nice. A lot of these are stripped. Cool. Want to make sure there's no major movement. This, as you can see, I'm shaking it. There's literally no movement at all. So after we've got it on there, we're going to grab our muffler. We're going to, I like to hook it up to this first one right here. Just slip it in there. But sometimes that doesn't work. So you can just take it and slip it back here. So you just gotta line these up with the hangers. Fitment shouldn't be too off, if by any. Slide those in. This should go in quite easy. Then you can do the second part. This goes on a little bit easier that way for some people. Some cars it just fits differently. Not sure what the difference is. Guessing different exhaust, just whatever. But now here you're probably wondering, how are we gonna get these on? That's not too difficult. You can either put them on before or after. I just put them on after. You can just bend them apart a little bit and then kind of just try to pop it on there on this smaller little neck. It's proven to be a little more difficult than I thought, but it'll work. I've done it before. Just give it a little more of a stretch. Wrap it around there almost. All right, just like I was doing, I kind of just stopped the video for a second, but just try to pop it onto there. That's literally what I did. I was just pushing and pushing, trying to pop it on. So right here, you're going to make sure everything is in a good place, nice and secure. And then that's when this can be applied. So we're going to make sure. I like to make sure mine's fitting. All right, now we're just gonna squeeze this. We're gonna line this up here. Just kind of try to squeeze it to give it a little bit of leeway, so that way you can screw this into there. I don't want to do that all the way up here though. It's not too crazy hard. There we go. And then we're gonna grab our impact driver or wrench or socket or whatever you have. We're gonna just kind of line her up. And we're gonna tighten her up as much as we can. Boom. Alright. Now let's tighten her up. I like to get it on there just a tad bit, so that way it doesn't slip off. And then I like to push it up to try to get the best fitment. Perfect. It's a little bit hard with one person to push and do that at the same time, but it doesn't 100% matter. Beans, dude. Let's take care of that. Alright guys, now the very last part is going to be putting on your polished tips. So pretty much what that entails is you're going to need your 15mm socket, one of these, impact drivers, wrench, socket, whatever. And then you're going to want to just go ahead and take the little V-clamp. I already have mine put on there. You're going to want to throw it on there. The top of your polished tip is going to be the one that's more stuck out. The bottom is going to be the one that's pushed in a little bit more. Alright, now that we just slipped the polished tip on right under here, we're going to have our 15mm nut or bolt, whatever, on here that we're gonna need to screw on there. So we're gonna take it, go ahead and screw that on there. You wanna make sure you hold it kind of firm so that way your tips don't spin. You don't need it super tight. Just get it tight enough to where that it's not going to slip off. Make sure it's on there straight. And there you go.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the C&L Muffler Delete Axle Back with polished tips fitting 2011 to 2014 Mustang V6s. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for everything Mustang, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.